What's up, you guys? Chase the Dark Sage here. Today we are back with another video. In today's video, you already saw it from the title. You already saw it from the thumbnail itself. Today we're going to be kind of talking about Hunter x Hunter and basically my love-hate relationship with this series. And I gotta say that most of my hate comes from the actual anime counterpart. Yeah, I really am not a big fan of the anime counterpart. It has that Dragon Ball Super effect, which I call it that because Dragon Ball Super was something I watched before Hunter x Hunter, where it just looks overly glossy. It looks overly colorful to kind of hide the actual gruesome or brutal nature of what's really happening in Hunter x Hunter itself or in Dragon Ball Super. Now, I'm not saying that Dragon Ball Super is a brutal manga by any means, except for the moral arc where something super brutal happens. But generally speaking, when certain things happen in Hunter x Hunter, I felt like it should have been a little bit more impactful when it came to some of those action scenes, because what they were doing, the hands that they were throwing in that series, it looked pretty hard. But if you have not been with the channel for a long time, which I expect most of you haven't, 2 to 3 years ago, I actually talked about my experience with the Hunter x Hunter anime. And if you haven't seen those videos, don't worry, I'll be re-uploading those. That way you can get my views of what I thought about the Hunter x Hunter anime. But to give you guys the TLDR, I basically wasn't really a big fan of the Hunter x Hunter anime because I felt like all of it was just a training arc up until the Chimera Ant arc, which I was like, I do like a shonen action manga with a good training arc, but I don't want the whole series to feel like a training arc itself. And that's what it felt like to me when I first experienced Hunter x Hunter. And I was going into Hunter x Hunter with all this hype. People talking about it's one of the greatest anime of all time. It's the best shonen anime of all time. I'm going into it with a lot of hype. People talking about Gon is like one of the best MCs. Killua is the best like deuteragonist out of all of anime. So I'm going in there with super high expectations. And when I actually viewed it for myself, you know, I was kind of left underwhelmed. Now, this series is created by Togashi, the same creator of Yu Yu Hakusho. And I grew up on Yu Yu Hakusho, and I was like, yo, if he could use this fire right here that he had with Yu Yu Hakusho and transport it over to Hunter x Hunter, which is a completely different and totally new universe, I think that he could really be cooking with this. And when I watched the anime of Hunter x Hunter, I felt like he burnt the food. I felt like he burnt the food because I was like, Hunter x Hunter, what is this compared to Yu Yu Hakusho? The gruesome, the gritty nature of what was happening in the demon realm, the human realm, Yusuke as a character and his crew. I was like, yo, what happened from over here to all the way over here? But I was going off my perception of the actual anime itself, and that was my mistake. I should have went with the manga, but I have been told that the manga was super wordy by one of my close friends in real life. So I definitely wasn't trying to read the manga because obviously at that time, I definitely couldn't read compared to how I could read now. So as usual, I went on my smear/slander campaign for Hunter x Hunter. And I gotta say that there is one person that really won me over to actually liking and getting into the series. And I gotta give that boy a shout out. Sam from Sam's Manga Review or Sam's Side Quest. Check out both of his channels. He has some great things happening on both of those channels. And I gotta say that he is an OG manga tuber. So I had to heed his word because I'm like, yo, this is an OG manga tuber giving me some game, giving me some jewels, giving me some gems to really impart into my collection and into my reading log in my head. But before we actually get into the video and before we actually get into what Sam told me to actually get me into reading Hunter x Hunter and my thoughts now on Hunter x Hunter itself, make sure you like the video and hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. And check out my social media platforms. All my links will be in the description down below. So, what is it that him and Killua say in the Heaven's Arena arc, which is probably one of the best arcs in shonen manga in general? But what does he say? I forgot. Dang, that was supposed to be like a little segue into the next part. But you guys get what I'm trying to say. I'm probably gonna put it in screen with the editor notes or something like that. But let's actually move to the conversation that me and Sam Side Quest had on my Twitch channel, which if you haven't seen my other channel, where I have a whole bunch of Twitch streams recorded where I talk to many of the manga tubers that are probably your favorites. Go ahead, check that channel out. I'll leave a link in the description down below. But about 2 to 3 years ago, me and Sam actually talked about Hunter x Hunter, and he told me about the greatness that Hunter x Hunter actually has in store that I'm sleeping on it. I was giving Togashi a bad name. And he set me straight from this. So let's go ahead and get into that conversation. And afterwards, I'll tell you guys my thoughts and my final opinions on Hunter x Hunter.
The disrespect.
Sam, what up? Look, Sam, you gotta explain the Hunter x Hunter hype for me. Yeah. There's this thing called Hunter x Hunter that you love.
Bro.
You love.
Bro. The disrespect.
You gotta explain it to me, Sam. You got to.
So I will be honest, you know, there's definitely a little bit of little bit of bias. I feel like Hunter x Hunter is kind of like my DBZ for you, but like Hunter x Hunter is what kind of really like took my anime love to like the next level. When you look at like the landscape of like how shonen was at the time before Hunter x Hunter came out, it was all pretty similar, pretty formulaic as far as like, you know, the character tropes, how it was. Essentially, my biggest point on like why I think Hunter x Hunter is so good, it's like every shonen trope but perfected. So like I think
don't say that, Sam.
the biggest strength I think Hunter x Hunter has is like the uniqueness of all the characters. Characters from different arcs are so memorable in Hunter x Hunter that I feel like it's kind of not as hit with like different shonen. Kurapika has his own arc that comes after like where the anime ends, and it's like just as strong. And he's like he's a side character, he's not even the main character. And that's kind of like Hunter x Hunter. It's kind of like Hunter x Hunter throughout the show. Like we'll spend a lot of time looking at like an antagonist or looking at like a side character with like Killua's family, or like just going into his character, or like, you know, the Chimera Ant arc, or Hisoka, all these different characters where they're not relying on just like spending time with Gon, who's like the main character, where with like a lot of shonen we just see them spending time focusing on like these characters. But really, like, there's no weakness as far as like the main cast of characters. It's got everything, like a shonen, like super epic moments, like from a damn card game. Like even like the Greed Island arc is great. Like the tournament.
Oh, I hate that arc.
Bro.
I only like the dodgeball scene. That's the only part of Greed Island I like.
Damn.
Oh, I also like when Gon lost his hand, but then they reverted it, and I'm like,
yeah. Bro, but the Chimera Ant arc, dude.
That's the best written arc in my opinion. That's the best writing, but that pacing was horrible.
The pacing is rough in the anime. And that's why I'm glad like I reread it, because I felt like when you're reading it, you can kind of digest it a lot quicker and just flip through some of like the the exposition and get to kind of like, I'm not saying skip, but it's just easier to read real quickly and then move on to like the action or whatever. My last point is I think Miriam, the Chimera Ant like king, he's my favorite villain in anime.
All of anime?
Any anime, bro.
Come on.
I hated this man.
If I had to pick one over the other, I'd put Tagoro over Meruem.
Oh my bro. There's no way.
But I'm on the side of Yu Yu Hakusho over Hunter x Hunter.
He's cold.
I'm on that side.
Dude, have you finished? Have you read reread Yu Yu Hakusho recently?
No, I only watched the anime. I'm gonna reread it after probably Naruto.
I say you reread it, because I'm telling you, after the Dark Tournament, it really falls off.
Oh no, I always say that. I say at Dark Tournament is where it peaks. I say after that it just slowly declines.
Yeah.
That's why I say Tagoro and the Dark Tournament is the best things for Yu Yu Hakusho. Obviously Yusuke is he's a great MC as well. But I always say like it peaks so early within the second arc that everything just goes lower.
So what I like about Miriam is he only values people based off of like their power ability. And meanwhile, we get this like juxtaposition of like the person he's spending the most time with is this super like weak, blind woman who like physically she's got nothing. She don't stand a chance. But she's got this like mental strength, and as well as like seeing him as a person, because she can't see that he's like this evil ant. So that's why I kind of had the emotional grip with him, because he at the end, not only is he like dying, just like you see this villain you have this connection with die, but also like that's when he has that mental shift of like value in a person doesn't come from just how strong they are, but also like there's just natural value in life in general.
But I also agree with you. This is one of the reasons why I say that the Chimera Ant arc is the best written arc overall. When it comes to the writing, the strengths are there. Like Meruem as a character, great. His bond with Komugi over time, him wanting just someone to challenge, and him not being able to beat somebody who was very weak and less powerful than him, loved it. I love the turnaround of the main character of the series isn't the one to fight him, but someone else. And even the good guy that's supposed to be the big bat, the biggest person of this, the Hunter Association, he dies. He accomplishes his goal of killing Meruem, but he dies. But within that, Meruem obviously realizes his mortality. He forgets all the things that's happening. Even his henchmen are like so confused as to what to do at some points. I did like that part. I like the part, like I said, I like the part of Gon. And when everybody says online, Gon becomes the monster and the villain instead of Meruem, who becomes the human. It's like a reverse on the tropes. Yeah, I'm like, yeah, I heard that a million times. All right, guys, so after this conversation, it has been months later, and me and Sam have actually done a read-through of Hunter x Hunter up to volume 33 or 34 of the actual manga itself. And I gotta say, my final verdict with Hunter x Hunter, this is like a top 10 shonen manga in my hands right here. I love Hunter x Hunter. Oh my gosh, I am so excited to talk about Hunter x Hunter. Now, I would make a review video for this series, but you guys really don't check out the reviews. But if you do want a review, and if you want me to do it with my boy Sam, go ahead and leave it down in the comment section down below. But I gotta say that Sam was right. I was completely in the wrong about this manga series right here, because Sam, he has opened up my eyes, and with me and him doing the read-through together on the series, I gotta say that I have a big newfounded appreciation for what Togashi did with Hunter x Hunter. I am in love with Hunter x Hunter. Hunter x Hunter is just one of those shonen manga that, you know, it just kind of creeps under the radar, and people know it more for its actual anime counterpart than the actual manga itself. People would never talk about the manga version compared to the anime version, which I think should be completely changed, because me personally, I don't really like the anime like that. I'm not saying it's not well animated. I'm not saying it has some dope scenes or anything like that, but for what Hunter x Hunter is in the manga version compared to the anime version, I think the manga version is really superior compared to the anime version. Now, some things I gotta start off with is the art. Now, the art isn't the best I've seen of Togashi. There are some really, really great moments, just like in Yu Yu Hakusho, but then there are some really dud moments. And I know that he does have health issues. He does have declining health happening while he's writing Hunter x Hunter, and he did redraw some of these manga panels and some of these pages for the actual releases of the physical format. But I will say that some of the artwork, just like in Yu Yu Hakusho, it's really not that great, but sometimes it could be fantastic. Some of the best artwork I've ever seen in manga. And that's one of the similarities that I have with Hunter x Hunter compared to Yu Yu Hakusho. I will say that Hunter x Hunter, while the anime looks super glossy, I think that the manga is way more brutal than any shonen action manga that I've seen. To me, it totes that line of being a shonen to a seinen, because seinen and shonen, we obviously know that they aim for different age brackets and different demographics. To me, some of the things that would happen in this manga felt like it was supposed to be for a more mature audience, because I think it would tote the line of shonen a lot of the times, especially the Chimera Ant arc and some of the brutal scenes that we have in the manga itself. Some of the scenes in the manga were just so brutal, so gruesome compared to the actual anime counterpart, and I was like, yo, this would have been a fire concept. And I feel like the manga perfectly captures the vibe that Togashi was really going for with Hunter x Hunter. To me, in the anime, it just makes it feel bright, colorful, happy-go-lucky and all that. Now, the manga, it gets real. You see arms getting ripped off, you see holes in people, you see people dying, people getting ripped up, people being burnt up. I was like, oh my gosh, this manga is just so good. The theming and characterization from the manga to the anime is very similar to certain things that happen, and I'm not gonna really go on that point because the characters are good, the theming is good, the setting from all the adventures that they take are good. And I gotta say this, Hunter x Hunter has one of the best tournament arcs of all time. Dare I say it? Hunter x Hunter has a better tournament with Heaven's Arena than Yu Yu Hakusho's Dark Tournament. Oh, I know I'm gonna disgruntle some people right there. I'm gonna ruffle some feathers. I said it. I think Heaven's Arena is better than Dark Tournament. I think the Hunter x Hunter manga far surpasses what Togashi was doing in Yu Yu Hakusho. I think that the writing is better. I think the setting is better. I think some of the characters are a bit better as well. While I do like the crew in Yu Yu Hakusho a little bit more, a lot of the things that happen with Hunter x Hunter, I feel like Togashi just leveled up in every single aspect. And like I said, Heaven's Arena to me is one of the best tournament arcs I've ever read through, because the way it introduces Nen, the way it implements Nen, the way they go about the actual tournament arc itself, the way some of the gruesome battles go with Hisoka, and just the showcase of Gon and Hisoka's fight. I know that some of you guys love that fight in the anime. You guys need to check it out in the manga. Trust me, it is fantastic in the manga. There's just so many things that happen in the manga, like when Gon meets up with Canary and Canary beats him up. Compared to the anime version, they make it look like some little kiddie adventure. In the manga version, this boy got bumps, he got bruises, it's dark, it just looks so brutal. Like, you feel sorry for how Gon looks in the manga version after Canary beats him up to go save Killua. Oh my, come on, dog. Come on, I had to get these. I had to get these. That's how I'm in love with Hunter x Hunter. Like I said earlier, my boy Sam, he was right. Hunter x Hunter, I was sleeping on it. I really went through this whole read through. I had a newfound appreciation for this series because I just felt like it leveled up everything from Yu Yu Hakusho. And I felt like it was way better written than Yu Yu Hakusho. It has a better villain than Yu Yu Hakusho. Some of the antagonists in Hunter x Hunter are better than the ones in Yu Yu Hakusho. Now, Yu Yu Hakusho has some of the greatest antagonists of all shonen action, all shonen jump manga, with Sensui and Toguro. But Meruem, the way Chrollo is, the way we have an anti-hero, kind of like Hisoka, where he does his own thing, the Zoldyck family, there's just so much to love about the world of Hunter x Hunter itself, especially with it opening up the field of hunters not really being good guys or bad guys themselves. Oh my gosh. And Gon himself as a character, he has his own selfish tendencies where obviously I'm going to regurgitate the same point that everybody has on the Chimera Ant arc. Gon turns into the monster while the monster actually turns into a human-like person. I get it. Like, I'm gonna regurgitate that point because that point is so good and Togashi nailed it so well with Meruem's relationship with Kamugi. Oh my gosh. Now, I'm not gonna lie, the manga is wordy. The manga is very, very, very wordy at certain points, but it's not all the way wordy through the whole series itself. It does have its wordy sections like Greed Island. I didn't really like Greed Island in the actual anime itself, but in the manga, I thought that Greed Island was pretty doable and I really enjoyed Greed Island more than I did in the anime counterpart. Now, Greed Island still isn't one of my favorite arcs. My favorite arcs are the Phantom Troop arc with Yorknu and the Chimera Ant arc, obviously. But like I said, I have a newfound appreciation for arcs like the Heaven's Arena, the Hunter exam. Oh my gosh, it's just so good. Now, the election arc and the arc right after that, where you get to focus on Kurapika's character, we haven't dived into that one too much, but I know that something super hype happens in that arc. But I gotta say that, Sam, you were right. I was wrong. Hunter x Hunter is a fantastic manga, and I gotta give my boy props. He put me on the peak. He put me on the peak. This is one of my top 10 manga because this manga is just so good. Oh my gosh, I just had such a fun time experiencing it. I was always waiting each week to just get into a volume and just be like, yo, Sam, let's go ahead and just read some Hunter x Hunter. Oh, and then the discussions that we would have, some of the breakdowns that we didn't notice in our first like go through of Hunter x Hunter, we would notice in this read through. Man, it was such a fun time. Guys, you got to start reading manga with your friends and start like kind of analyzing, nitpicking, and having discussions about it because it just adds a new level to actually reading manga itself. And I just had so much fun. I gotta say thank you to Sam for reading this with me, for talking with me about the series, and for putting me on and making me give it a second chance, because this is one of those mangas where I had to give it a second chance. And I'm gonna still slander Hunter x Hunter. don't worry, I'm still gonna slander Hunter x Hunter, but I will say that I really appreciate it and I really do love Hunter x Hunter. I in fact love it way more than Yu Yu Hakusho, and I grew up on Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho is one of my favorite series of all time. I think Hunter x Hunter is a far more superior manga series. But you guys let me know what you think about this video down in the comment section down below. Like I said, thank you guys for watching. If you are new to the channel, you haven't already, go ahead, hit that subscribe button, like the video, post notification bell, and check out both of Sam's channels. He has a gaming tech channel, which you should check out, and he has a manga channel, which he's an OG manga tuber. So it's kind of cool to see him featured on this video, and you know, you guys can go check out some of his older stuff, his previous stuff, because he's been in the manga tube game for a really long time. Dang, I forgot what they say. What did they say? Osu, that's what it is. That's what they said at the end. Man, come on, dog. I knew that. I knew that the whole time.
I used to work the day away. I figured I could maybe pave a way. No, it's to count the days till I fade away. But you know I always find my way to turn a bad look in the field to something solid. I'm on target for a major play. Used to waste the day away. She hit me to say I'm on her mind, but my commitment to the game got me OT till I OD and then I fade away. Lately I've been giving